Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. My name is Beau Brooks. I'm a Sitka ambassador. They call me the animal jukebox. Okay, I'll do that again. That's not politically correct. All right, guys, I want to talk to you today about my top 5 favorite turkey calls, like turkey sounds and what they mean. Number one, it's got to be the yelp. If you can figure out the yelp and understand the yelp, everything comes together. And honestly, a yelp is like a 3-in-1 because how fast you yelp or how slow you yelp can really show the emotion of that hen. So the difference between listen, they're still a yelp, but they're so totally different. And so how do you achieve this sound on a mouth call? So it's a high and a low, right? It's a hee-ya, hee-ya. All your calling comes from right here in your stomach. And what I'm doing is I'm going hee-ya and dropping my jaw. And that's going to get that two-part note, which is very, very important. It adds realism to your turkey calling. A lot of times when you get in the woods, you hear turkey yawner, you hear just dropping your jaw a little bit. Can add the world of a difference. And so using a hen yelp, what it means is it's just like, hey, I'm over here to subtle, just I'm kind of happy to get over here right now. It's just depending how fast you do it. A lot of times I live right here. That real pretty, soft yelp. Timing is everything. Make sure you're doing it at the right time. But once you get that yelp figured out, all these other sounds, they just seem to fall into place. My second favorite sound is the cluck. I'm really biased. I really like a bubble cluck. So there's 2 different types of clucks you can do. There's a eastern normal cluck that goes pop. You'll hear it on a slate call. Or a mouth call, it's a raspy cluck. You'll hear it first thing in the morning when they're on the tree. You'll hear it when they're happy on the ground. They're clucking. They're content. It's a content sound. I really like the bubble cluck, which what I do is you find the opening on the call, guys. So on every call, it could be a ghost cut, it can be a combo cut, it can be, except for a V-cut. V-cut does not have an opening. Wherever you find that opening, you can find a key sound. So on a bat wing, I use the right side of the call. I take the tip of my tongue, put it on the far right side of the call, and I just push. And then what I do to get a bubble cluck is to go whip, whip, whip. Really simple, really easy to learn. You just got to practice it. Just get that tongue on the right side of the call and go whip. And it's a great sound for closing the distance. He's coming in. You don't want to call too much, but you still want to make a sound, kind of say, hey, I'm right here, without blowing them out. My third favorite sound, not quite as conventional, is the whine. So we just talked about that key that you find. Ghost cut straight down the middle, bat wings on the sides, combos on the sides, wherever that opening is on that call. You find that key, and what you're going to do is you're going to go, yoo-woo. I'm taking my tongue and just going, whew, 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 whew. It's really simple. It can be a little bit annoying, but with a little bit of practice, you can get it. The times that I use it, it's more of a confident sound, if that makes sense. You know, you don't hear turkeys do it a lot. When they're in big groups or when they're really content clucking and purring, they'll add that nice little whine. You'll hear it every once in a while. It's a real happy sound, but it can be the difference between getting a bird to come running in or not because they don't hear that a lot. This is, I mean, arguably one of my favorite sounds, middle of the day. You know, you want to get a bird fired up. You're walking through the woods, you know. This is the best time of day to kill a turkey is 9 to 2 o'clock, but they don't gobble that great that time of day. So what do? I get the cut. I cut a lot in the middle of the day. So what is a cut? A cut's a really sharp cluck. It's a pack, 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 pack. You'll hear it. The hens are searching in the middle of the day. They're pack, 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 looking for a hen, looking for a tom. And man, if you can master a cut, it really can add a lot of emotion into your calling. So what do I do to make a cut? I take the tip of my tongue and go tick, tick, tick. But at the same time, I'm going pop, pop, pop with my lips. So it's kind of confusing, but a lot of people, when they put it in, they just go tick, 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 tick. If that makes sense. But if you can get your lips involved, it'll sharpen it right up. And it comes from right here, guys. Airflow comes from the stomach and up. I mean, you'll feel it. You're flexed the whole time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. That's what I'm doing a lot of times. A lot of times, you just hear, and he'll just blow up. Better sit down by a tree because he's coming. So I'll put the cluck purr. You guys learn how to do your cluck now. Cluck purr together. I don't really run them without each other. What I'm doing is I'm rolling my tongue over that open area on the call. So guys, what I'm doing on all these sounds to make that real clean sound is I'm actually running the tip of my tongue on the call. I pull it up behind that second reed and right on the opening. You'll see the opening on all these calls. And I pull it back and that gets that clean front sound. And that's why it cleans up so nice. A lot of people will run that middle part of the tongue like we talked about for goblin, but you're not wanting to do that. This is how you clean up your sound. So you roll your tongue, and if you can't roll your tongue, which I roll it in a wave, by the way, I think it adds a lot of realism. And sometimes I'll move it back in my mouth, but you guys just got to play with it. You got to figure out what works for you. Or if you can't roll your tongue, do the Chewbacca. In the back of your throat, you just gargle. I don't do it really well because I roll my tongue, but it is another way to do it. I would not suggest using your lips because I don't like that. Let's stay away from that. So this is what, if I put them all together, I'll create a little scene for us. Start off slow with the pretty stuff and then get into some excited stuff. So these are my top 5 turkey sounds. Understanding when to use them is more important than anything, but making sure you have a grab bag full of sounds that's just not just one dimensional will increase your success all spring, not just one day.